hacer. Okay, we are live in direct. Hello, everybody. No, I'm just playing. Hello, everybody. Today we have a very special video. We're going to be talking about very interesting, unethical, and manipulative tactics. I am currently recording not at home, so I'm sorry about the audio or whatever, but I'm trying to bring the best quality content possible for the internet and YouTube. Yeah, let's go. Okay, unethical and manipulative tactics. This comes to mind because of the idea of lowballing. Among other things, lowballing is when you want to buy something and maybe the salesperson, right, tells you, I will sell you this charger for $10, right? And it's cheap. Let's say $10 is cheap for this charger, which is a good charger. And you say, okay, yes. But I tell you, hey, hang on, because I just need to go get the box. As a matter of fact, I will see you tomorrow and bring the money and I'll give you the charger, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, and then tomorrow comes and I ask you, and you tell me, hey, okay, you know, I'm here. Can I have the charger? Here's the money. And I tell you, yeah, it's all good. But you know what? It's not $10 anymore. It's $20 now. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I was talking to the person that sold it to me, and he actually told me that it costs more, so it's actually $20. That is unethical. That is manipulative, because psychologically the client, the potential client, already made up their mind that they're gonna buy it, so you want it. And in those cases, I think many people are willing to say, well, fuck you, you know, but other people will probably say, well, whatever, just take 20, take 10 more, or take the extra, and you know, give me the charger. And salespeople do this. For example, Robert Cialdini in his book says that salespeople do it or have done it. It's unethical. So it's the practice of offering a very low price or attractive deal to get someone committed, then changing the terms after they've mentally said yes, used in car sales contracts and sometimes job offers. You remember how, like, for example, the person that hired me recently at this job told me that if I wanted to work there for a certain amount of money, right? And after 6 months now, they want to drop the price by giving me a contract, but by them giving me the contract, in reality, now I have less money. I'm making less money, right? So again, this is kind of something like that. You also have bait and switch. Bait and switch says advertising a great deal, which is the bait, right? You can think of it like the hook, the bait that's actually not available, then pressuring the customer to buy something more expensive, the switch, right? Often seen in retail and travel deals. So it's when I tell you I have an excellent charger for $10, right? And I really don't. And when you say yes, then I change it on you, right? And I say, hey, you know what? I actually don't have it anymore. I'm out of stock or whatever, but I have another one for 20 and it's perfectly fine, right? So bait and switch. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is manipulating someone into questioning their perception or memory to gain power or control. Used in abusive relationships, workplace, power plays, or PR spins, right? So I've been actually thinking about doing this. I know it's not good, but when you actually tell the person, like, not your loved one, but for example, imagine doing it like with your boss or with employees at work, right? Like, hey, did you finish the report I told you to finish? What report? Yeah, that report I told you about last week. You never told me about any report. Yeah, I did. Don't you remember? Right? So then the person may say, maybe, but I must have forgot, right? The gaslighting. Price gouging, raising prices unreasonably during emergencies or shortages, knowing people have no choice, done with common with fuel, water, medical supplies after disasters. I feel like this is heartless So let's say the government is in charge. The government is in charge of water, medical supplies, fuel, pharmacies, right? And let's say there's a disaster that happens, a natural disaster. So everybody runs to the pharmacy to get supplies, to get medicine or whatever, and the pharmacy raises the prices, right? That's fucked up, but it happens. This one's very interesting. Non-compete collusion. Companies informally agree not to hire each other's employees to keep wages low. Big tech companies have been sued for this. So I think this happens more or less without any formal agreement. But think about like the industry where you work, and think about what your other options are, right? Like let's say you are a waiter in a restaurant. You work at restaurant A, and you want a better pay. So maybe you look for a job in restaurant B to see if you can get more money, but they pay the same. And then you look at restaurant C, and they pay the same. They all pay the same. So there's no competitive salary. You really have no option but just to pick one and stay there, right? And this is so people don't, this benefits companies a lot because then they don't have to worry about employees leaving, paying them better, having better working conditions, for example, right? So that's the thing about non-compete collusions. This also de-incentivizes, or this also makes it so that people that maybe want to start a union don't, because they're all like all these companies, there's a lot of things that go into this. It's very interesting to analyze it further. 6, shadow banning or hidden filtering. Silently limiting someone's visibility or reach without informing them, used by social media platforms, often without transparency. We also have predatory pricing, setting prices extremely low to kill competition, then raising them once the competitor is gone. Anti-competitive, often illegal under antitrust laws. I think the Rockefellers did this. The Rockefellers were in charge of the railroads, right? And what they ended up doing is, and I think one of them was a Capricorn. The first Rockefeller was a Capricorn. When he started his business of railroads, he dropped the prices so low so that everybody would buy from him, right? Kind of like ofertazos. And then as soon as a lot of people were buying and left the competition, he destroyed the competition because the competition had 2 options, both of them devastating. The first one was to drop their prices that low and lose money, or keep their prices up and lose clients, thus losing money. So either way, the competition was destroyed. As soon as the competition was destroyed, what did Rockefeller do? Monopoly. He monopolized, he brought back the fucking prices and charged whatever he wanted because now he was the only supplier of railroads, I think. 8, hidden fees or drip pricing. I think this is done by, who does this? This is done where you get charged, like for example, you buy a concert ticket, right? And then there's like an extra charge and an extra fee charge and an extra fee, right? And drip means like drip, right? But little by little, you start to get you start to become affected by it. So first of all, hidden fees, showing one price but adding multiple small fees during checkout so the customer doesn't notice until the end. Used in airlines, hotels, and ticketing sites. So they tell you the ticket is how much? Like $30, no? And when you go to check out, when you go to buy the ticket, $5 fee for this, $6 fee for this, $1 fee for this, right? So you get all these fees and you're like, what the hell? Oh, it's a fee for using the service. It's a fee for buying it online. It's a fee for just fucking buying the ticket, right? It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's stupid. Cherry picking data, presenting only the data that supports your claim and ignoring the rest, common in marketing, politics, and even research. This is why you can't trust research, because they can tell you 88% of people agree that this is the greatest president of all time or whatever, right? And it's like, yeah, but that 88, that 100%, where did you get them from? You know, if you got them from like a specific area, it's not a representative sample of, you know, the nation, the world, etc. Forced arbitration clauses, putting legal clauses in contracts that prevent you from suing or joining a class action lawsuit used by large corporations to avoid accountability or responsibility, right? So you put clauses in the contract that make it so that when something bad happens, you can't take action, right? And if you don't read the whole contract or you don't understand it, you know, you don't know. False urgency, the last one, and scarcity. Telling customers only 2 left or offer ends in 5 minutes when it's not true, just to pressure a decision. So the non-compete collusion, I want to get a little bit into this, also known as wage fixing, or no poach agreement. Poach is when you steal, like they say in Spanish, te robas los clientes. When you steal, like not the clients, even clients, but employees from another company, that's poaching. Like, hey, you know, like I'm the boss of restaurant A, you're the boss of restaurant B, and I tell you, don't poach my clients, right? Like, are you gonna pay them better? They're gonna have better conditions, like, you know, now I have to pay them better. I have to give them better working conditions, right? So the non-compete collusion, also known as wage fixing or no poach agreements, is an unethical and often illegal practice where companies secretly agree not to hire each other as employees, or they enforce strict non-compete clauses to prevent employees from switching to competitors, keep wages artificially low so people get paid shit, limit employee bargaining power, so the employee can't say now like, hey, give me more money or I'm going to the competition, because they're not going to do it because they're going to get paid the same, and avoid market competition for talent. It's unethical and sometimes illegal because it reduces worker mobility, making it harder for people to negotiate better pay. It manipulates the labor market, similar to price fixing in product markets, and it benefits employers at the expense of workers' freedom and earning potential, right? Real life examples, big tech, Apple, Google, Intel, Adobe in the 2010s. These companies made secret agreements not to poach each other's engineers. The result was wages stagnated, so they were kept the same despite high demand for tech talent, and the outcome was a class action lawsuit where they had to settle for $400 million. Fast food chains have also done it. Many franchises like McDonald's, Jimmy John's had agreements not to hire workers from other franchises of the same chain. These prevented workers from moving across location for better shifts or pay, and under pressure, some chains removed these clauses, right? How workers are affected: a talented employee can move to a competitor for better pay. Companies don't have to raise wages to retain employees, so they just say, you're not going to leave us because you're going to keep getting paid the same. And innovation and motivation may drop due to lack of upward movement. Okay, so some other ones that I have here are psychological manipulation tactics, love bombing. Love bombing, I think you know what it is, no?
Yes, of course.
Yes? Okay. Do you want to explain?
Love bombing is when somebody gives you a lot of attention, a lot of love, and just to manipulate your how you feel about that person.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like attached to this person or engaged to thinking that this person is like the one, or he or she is like somebody very special that treats you like nobody else, so you fall for that person.
Correct. And what happens with love bombing especially is that you step away from it, right? And that means you stop love bombing, and then it creates like dependency, right? It's like a drug, like you give someone a drug and then you take the drug away from them and they're gonna want it, right? So overwhelming someone with praise, attention, gifts to gain control, correct? Used in cults, toxic relationships, and even hiring processes. Oh my God, that about, I used to know these things happen in relationships, like romantic relationships, but what's scandalous to me is that this happens in professional settings too. Like it happened to me this year with the wage, right? So they promise you a lot of things. It's like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna pay you this much or whatever, and then like 6 months later, oh, guess what? You're not gonna be getting paid the same. I'm sorry, and it's like, what the hell? What happened to me specifically was that they told me that I was getting paid more than my colleagues, and I was like, well, that's not my problem. I never asked for more money. You guys offered me that, right? And now you want to take it away, arguing that I'm getting paid more than everybody else. Well, that's not my fucking problem, but whatever.
Yeah.
Future faking, promising big things, raises, promotions, marriage to keep someone hooked with no real intent to follow through. So this is like the false promise, empty promise. Like if you stay with me, we'll get, like, let's say you want to get married, no? And I tell you, yeah, we'll get married, but I have no intention of marrying you. I just say yes, so you stay with me. Guilt tripping, making others feel guilty to manipulate their actions, aka mothers. After all I've done for you, right? So it's like you make the person feel guilty. So manipulation is all about getting other people to do what you want them to do, right? So in this case, mothers will play the guilt trip card to get you to do things that they want you to do. Triangulation, interesting too, bringing a third person into the mix to create jealousy or competition, manipulating one party's behavior. This, I think, can also be done in like professional settings, right? What I'm saying is that, I'll repeat it again, it's scandalous. Imagine a boss that has like a right-hand man, and then there's another one, so then the boss starts paying attention to the other person to make the right-hand man jealous so that they work harder. Like power games like that. It's like, that's fucked up, that's crazy. Silent treatment, withholding communication or affection to punish or control someone emotionally. Credential padding, falsely inflating one's resume or experience to gain a position unfairly. So I think this can only be done if you don't check the person's credentials, right? Like you can say, oh yeah, like I have a degree from Harvard, I have a PhD from Oxford, and the person can be like, oh, excellent, come and work with us, right? So that's unethical and manipulative, but I think that's the person that hires you's fault, right? The employer's fault. Because it's like, well, check that person actually has what they say they have, right? What's that noise? All right. 7, over-promising or under-delivering. So making commitments to gain trust or deals, then strategically falling short when it's too late to change course. So like, of course, I'll throw in the extra speaker and the extra DVD player and whatever. And then when the time comes, oh, guess what? I didn't bring the speaker. my mom didn't let me sell it, like in some type of negotiation. Ghost competitor trick, pretending there's another buyer or candidate or client to pressure someone into deciding quickly or accepting worse terms. This is so fucking stupid, but I've seen it. I think people have done it to me. It's like, are you gonna get the house? Are you gonna rent the house or not? Because I have another person waiting. And if you don't give me the money by this afternoon, I'm gonna give it to the other person, right? And you feel pressure when there's not even anybody else, right? Sandbagging, intentionally underperforming or setting low expectations to later appear impressive or exceed them. Oh, I didn't know about that. So let's say you're really good at something and you show the person that you're bad, and then later you show them that you're good to come off as impressive. I think this is something done. I've seen it, like, for example, with people that play pool and they bet money. I think that, yeah, right? There's a cartoon that Drake and Josh do it. So I think Josh was really good at pool and Drake took him. So then they did this when they played some guys in some bar and they lost the first game. They lost money. on purpose. So then the people, they were like, no, come on, let's do it one more time, but now not for 20, for $100 or $200. And the people were like, seriously? Free money, we'll do it. And then Josh beat them because he was really good, and they won the money. But the bad guys were like, we're not stupid. We know you manipulated us, and we're gonna fuck you up, and we're gonna hit you and all this shit, right? Astroturfing. This is in political and social tactics, creating fake grassroots movements to make an agenda look more popular than it is. So we got to dig into that. I'm not sure what it is. Fear mongering, exaggerating threats to control behavior or opinions. If X happens, your children are in danger. Yeah, so this, it gets done all the time with the news, right? Like fear, right? Fear makes people stay home or makes people buy or whatever. Whataboutism, deflecting criticism by accusing others of hypocrisy rather than addressing the issue. Oh, this is a 2-cocaine fallacy. Yeah, but what about when they did X, right? Like, how can you tell me not to lie when you lie? It's like, those are two different things, right? False equivalence, suggesting two unequal things are the same to justify harmful behavior or dismiss a real problem. Again, we got to look into that later. Nagging, giving backhanded compliments or insults to lower someone's self-esteem or gain the upper hand. I think these are the comments of like, oh my God, you look so good. You have really lost weight. You know, or like things that are, no. There's another one, like it's common between like women as examples. I don't know why, but I think about that when they say things like, you are so brave for wearing that. I could never do that. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, bitch, what are you saying? Gaslighting, again, denying or twisting facts to make someone question their reality, their memory, or their sanity. Breadcrumbing, giving just enough attention or affection to keep someone interested without real commitment. Decoy pricing, adding a third worse option to make a more expensive product seem like a better deal, like Starbucks, I think. We're at Starbucks. Forced continuity, offering a free trial that auto-renews and is hard to cancel, hoping you'll forget. Oh, who does this? Like, try our free trial, and you register, and then when the free trial is over, you want to cancel, and it's so fucking hard to cancel it, right? Who does that?
Maybe when it happened to me once when I like got this subscription for a page with some courses like training and that shit. Yeah. And when I tried to cancel, it didn't let me to do it because it was very difficult to delete the card or my information. So it was very difficult. So I had to send an email to ask for the elimination.
The cancellation.
The cancellation of my account.
Wow, yeah. And they make it super hard for you to cancel, just hoping you'll forget or give up and just say, I'll just pay instead of going through the work of canceling. Limited time only when it's not, creating artificial urgency to pressure people into buying or committing. I think restaurants do this, right? You know, like buffets. We have this for a limited amount of time, and then they just keep extending it and extending it. Okay. There are a couple more and we'll finish. Unethical and manipulating advertising tactics. Lately I've been really interested into advertising, or I've been really interested like how advertising gets done. Hidden advertising and native ads that look like real content, such as news articles, social media posts, tutorials. I would even say like movies, right? Like it just looks like a movie or like a news segment, but in it is publicity, right? Or a tutorial. Like they were talking about artificial intelligence today, right? How you can ask like, hey, I got a headache. What do you recommend I take? Oh, take aspirin, this brand, right? And that's like publicity.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it is very like every day you can see that that kind of publicity is in all the media that you use, for example, and it is very subtle.
Yeah.
You can't even like recognize when you see some publicity because it is like very high.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you are watching like this tutorial about, I don't know, maybe makeup. You wanna like try the new trend about makeup, and they give you this like little. They show you, for example, the product, but you don't know what product they are using, but you say, oh, their eyebrows are very like like I don't know, like very
Perfect.
or you like how their eyebrows are like done, so you are like asking to yourself which product they are using. So you comment, whoa, hey, what product you are using in your eyebrows? But you don't know that they put that in on purpose to make you ask that question,
Right.
because they are like trying to sell that product, but they didn't have to even show you the brand or something. They you show you like the final.
Yeah. The effect or what it does. Mm. Yeah, exactly. Here, an example is a review video that's actually a paid promotion with no disclosure. So that's the part that you're talking about, no disclosure. It doesn't say we're advertising this. It's just like influencer sponsorship without disclosure. When influencers promote products without saying they were paid or received gifts, illegal in many countries, but still widely done. Exactly. Fear-based marketing, using fear of illness, failure, loneliness, etc. to sell something. Example, without this supplement, you could be at serious risk. Again, false scarcity, countdown timers, pretending a product is almost sold out or a deal is ending soon, creating false urgency to force impulsive decision making. Before and after deception, editing photos, right? Like before and after weight loss or exercise regimes, using different lighting, makeup, or actors to exaggerate transformation. Common in fitness, skincare, and cleaning ad products or cleaning product ads. Fine print traps, hiding critical terms in tiny text most consumers will never read, often used to sneak in subscriptions, fees, or exclusions. Doctor recommended with no evidence. Yeah, this is why you can't trust commercials, because a commercial and even the design of a product, right? Like what's on the product, the colors and everything, is decided by the companies. So it doesn't have to be true. It's like I can put doctor recommended because that's what I'm selling. Because no, that's not what I'm selling. That's what I wanted to say. That's the design of the logo, for example.
Yeah, for example, I was answering some questions, some like this thing when you are asked about some like quotes that you put on the product, because I was like getting paid for answering these questions about some brands, and in fact one of the things that made me think about it was that they asked, for example, if I put this phrase that say, for example, this is recommended for by dermatologist, or which one is most like that caught your attention the most.
Yeah.
For example, this, or this is the number one product for, I don't know, like dry skin, for example, or that this is recommended by dermatologist, or that this contains this and this like ingredients. Which of these phrases or quotes are
most attractive.
most attractive for you? And I think that is the way that they like develop this kind of publicity, because they test the the information that will attract your attention the most.
Correct, that will influence you. Yeah, and make you decide to buy that. Yeah, using vague expert endorsements without proof or credentials. Greenwashing I think is popular right now. Marketing a product used as environmentally friendly without actual environmental benefits. I think we saw this in a documentary that talked about clothes, I think, how they say they're taking care of the clothes and everything, and they're really just dumping them like in some other country, right? And they have like a lot of shoes and clothes from...
Yes, because a lot of clothing brands are telling you that you can like take your old clothes to the store, and they treat they take these clothes and they give you this like coupon or something, and they make you think that you are like saving the planet, like, because they are going to use these old clothes to like recycling or something like that. But in fact they are just like throwing that clothes. And I think the brand that was the example for this documentary was H&M.
Oh, yeah. So they say they use words such as natural, eco, sustainable, with no regulation or data. They're just saying it because they can say it. Data manipulation, showing misleading statistics or graphs to make results seem more impressive. Like, for example, 300% improvement, when a 300% improvement is going from 1% to 3%. Right, that's 300% improvement, because 1 times 3, right? But I mean, 1 to 3 is not that much, but if we say 300, it's how you word it, right? So you look for the best ways to say something, so it either benefits you or it harms your competitors. Emotional manipulation, ads that use nostalgia, sadness, or love to bypass rational decision making. Example, insurance ads that show children losing a parent, implying fear as motivation. Decoy pricing strategies, presenting a third useless option, yeah, we already saw this, to nudge customers into buying the more expensive one. Classic psychological pricing trick. Ads retargeting with psychological triggers. Ads that follow you online and use personalized data, your browsing habits, insecurities, to pressure you. Often includes messages like, still thinking about this, right? Clickbait headlines, thumbnail lies, making exaggerated or false claims just to get clicks or views, right? A lot of times we've seen this with YouTube videos that say, this movie sucked. And then you watch the review of the movie, you know the guy, and then he actually doesn't talk that bad about it. He just wants you. It's clickbait, right? Sexualization, irrelevant imagery, using unrelated sex appeal or shock value to grab attention. Violence and sex sells, right? We all know that. But it has nothing to do with the product. Like, I think something that is, I think there are some commercials like this, like alcohol commercials, right? Like it's like some epic adventure, some guy is traveling somewhere, you know, like Johnny Walker, and then at the end you're like, what the hell's going on? And then at the end it's just like vodka, you know, or like Johnny Walker, or like whiskey, and you're like, what? So it has nothing to do with the product, but it grabs your attention. And AstroTurf reviews and fake testimonials, paid or bot generated reviews designed to make a product look trusted, can be on Amazon, YouTube, Google Maps, etc. Right? So we conclude with this, our list of unethical and manipulative tactics. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add before we finish our video.
Just be careful about this mental manipulation tactics, because many people is very like, I don't know, they are not aware about these things, so it's good for them to know about them and try to avoid them.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think you got to be careful. You got to know that everything that's out there is not out there for free, and it's not out there to entertain you. And if it's entertaining you for free, like social media, movies, then there's probably a reason why it's free, right? Yeah. All right.
Of course.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.